Welcome back, everyone. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of a comparison between the iPhone 11 and the iPhone 11 Pro in the year of 2021. If you have all the money in the world, getting the iPhone 11 Pro may be the better idea for a majority of you out there, but the iPhone 11 is still a very good phone for sure, and I really don't think there's that crazy of a difference. Like, yes, the iPhone 11 Pro is the better phone, but the iPhone 11 is still a very solid phone for sure. I just realized I have the same background on these as well. If you want to pick up either one of these, links will be down in the description. You can get them from there and help support the channel at the same time. Now, starting off with the front of both of these, the iPhone 11 Pro does have that 5.8-inch Super Retina OLED display, and it is a very good panel. I used this phone for a year. I liked it a lot. I think it has a lot of capability, and it still looks very good. The notch up top, very good colors, and compared to basically all the other iPhones that have came out since then, the iPhone 12s, there's really not that big of a difference. The iPhone 11, on the other hand, has a bigger 6.1-inch Retina IPS panel, so a bigger panel but lower resolution, and it's not an OLED. So keep that in mind. Is that a big deal? It really is up to you. I really don't think it's like a crazy big deal. You're essentially getting the same design though, and there are some pros with an IPS. I feel like this panel kind of is more, I don't know, like I feel like it looks good sometimes on camera. I feel like the iPhone 11's panel looks better on camera, with the iPhone 11 Pro's panel looks better like in person. So take it as you will. In terms of thinness and thickness, I think the iPhone 11 is a little bit thicker, to be honest. And on the back, one of my favorite things about the 11 Pro, you have a frosted glass back on the iPhone 11 Pro. We have that standard glass back on the iPhone 11. Is that a big difference? Probably not. You're probably going to put a case on it, but that is something I really do like about the iPhone 11 for sure. Dual camera setup on the iPhone 11, triple camera setup on the iPhone 11 Pro, and that essentially covers it up on the outside. IP certification on both. Same kind of things on the outside, same type of design, but it does feel better on the iPhone 11 Pro. Now, that really pretty much covers it up for the major differences on the outside. Internally, they are almost identically the same phone in terms of the software experiences and even the battery life. So with the software, they're both going to be getting the same years of software support. They have the same chipsets inside of them. So one is not going to outlast the other one. That is a massive thing. I'm going to say that again. If you're trying to find the phone that's going to last the longest amount of time, and neither of these are going to outlast the other one. Even though the 11 Pro is more expensive and it's, I guess, a higher valued phone, it's not going to last longer than the iPhone 11. Look back at the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus, they last at the same time. The 6S, 6S Plus, so on and so forth. And this is essentially the standard and the Plus version of both these phones. Same chipsets inside of it, same amount of RAM too. So you're getting the same software experience on both these phones. So keep that in mind. The same day the iPhone 11 Pro gets an update, it's the same day the iPhone 11 gets an update. Massive thing to keep in mind. On top of that, the battery sizes are roughly around the same as well. I think the iPhone 11 Pro's battery life is just a little bit bigger in terms of battery size, but in real world use, I feel like both of these batteries were really good and almost the same in real world use. So that is another, I guess, kind of advantage for both of these phones. So I think that really covers it up for a majority of the main differences. I do think at the end of the day, the iPhone 11 is a very good phone, and for a cheaper value, it's almost the same thing as the 11 Pro. But when it comes down to both of these, the iPhone 11 Pro I think is the better one in terms of build quality and maybe even the battery life as well. So in terms of that, that covers it up on the outside. Let's go and do a speed comparison between both these phones. They both have the Apple A13 Bionic chip inside of them, and they both have 4 GB of RAM. So let's go and see which one is the faster phone between both of these. Okay, now that we're back, a little bit of awkwardness I can see, but regardless, let's get into it. Let's get into their app stores. As you can see, all the apps are cleared out. So their app stores, 3, 2, 1. And I don't know what's going on with the iPhone 11 Pro. Let me go and get off airplane mode. That's probably why. And I guess I didn't even hop out of him, so we're just going to let that one slide. Let's get into all these third-party apps that we have on both these phones. Let's do Fruit Ninja, 3, 2, 1. And look at the iPhone 11. That phone actually looks quite a bit faster. That's pretty surprising. And you can see the iPhone 11 was far faster than the iPhone 11 Pro. The iPhone 11 Pro is on the right. The iPhone 11 is on the left. Hopping out of this app, let's go ahead and get into Netflix. 3, 2, 1. And you can see the iPhone 11 is faster. iPhone 11 Pro is still taking its time. I'm not really too sure what's going on with it. I'm not really too sure what's going on with this phone. That's being very strange today. Let's get into Quizlet. 3, 2, 1. iPhone 11 is faster. I mean, I don't know what to do, guys. Is the iPhone 11 Pro being weird? Maybe I have to restart that phone or something. There we go. We finally got into it. Very, very strange with the iPhone 11 Pro. Dropbox, 3, 2, 1. They both are on roughly around the same versions of software as well. So it's very strange that we're getting pop-ups or whatever this is on the iPhone 11 Pro, where the iPhone 11 is actually loading up much faster. So take it as you will, stability may be a little bit better on the iPhone 11. Let's do BOFA, 3, 2, 1. And the 11 Pro, actually they both were roughly around the same there too. Very, very interesting. Hopping out of this app, let's go ahead and get into Temple Run 2. 3, 2, 1. And almost exactly the same. So take it another step further. I mean, I'll get into some gameplay with these, but I think they're going to be roughly around the same. As you can see, gameplay was almost, or so speed loading speeds were almost identical. Getting into some gameplay, I think they're going to be roughly around the same here too. So let me hop out of this one. Let's get into the next tab. Let's just get into Facebook, which I don't even have here. Let's get into Stack, 3, 2, 1. And Stack didn't work out, so let me do Snake versus Blocks, 3, 2, 1. And maybe this one was a little bit faster here. It's kind of like the same though, hopping out of this one. So I think ultimately this one was kind of a rough one because a lot of the iPhone 11 Pro apps weren't loading, so there was no point in continuing to keep going through with them. I will tell you though, theoretically on paper, they should be roughly around the same. In my real world use, whenever I used both of these, I'd find that to kind of be the case. You know, both phones were really, really good phones. One really was like way crazier than the other one in terms of speed. So take it as you will, but I will probably say the iPhone 11 Pro may be the faster one, but not really because, you know, they're both having the same chipset and same amount of RAM. So in terms of speed comparison, a rough one, I understand. Let's go and hit on the cameras. So like I mentioned before, the iPhone 11 dual camera setup, iPhone 11 Pro triple camera setup, wide angle lens, telephoto lens, wide, ultra wide, and telephoto lens on the iPhone 11 Pro. Now with the iPhone 11's camera, like I always mention, this camera is a very good sensor for sure. The wide angle lens, but you also have that ultra wide sensor as well, which is beautiful on something like an iPhone 11. You have the ability of zooming in a little bit. You don't have a telephoto lens on here, but you have the ability of zooming out. Both the iPhone 11 Pro and the iPhone 11 both have 4K 60 on the back and on the front. So that is another massive advantage that you have on something like an iPhone 11. You have the capability of essentially just, you know, utilizing the same type of features for the most part. You are basically getting an extra telephoto lens on the 11 Pro, and that is the bigger difference between these two. With the iPhone 11 Pro, I mean, like I mentioned, it's almost exactly the same thing as the iPhone 11, the ultra-wide sensor, which is beautiful, but that telephoto lens as well. So that is another pretty big advantage. You are getting a better camera overall on the iPhone 11. So this is essentially what I can tell you here. The iPhone 11's camera is very good, but the iPhone 11 Pro's camera is additional on top of the iPhone 11. Basically, you're getting that additional telephoto lens, and you're getting, I think, a higher, you know, better looking lens for sure, which is another pretty big asset for the iPhone 11 Pro. So take it as you will, but that's kind of how I'd sum up this specific camera comparison, especially now in 2021. Now to kind of sum up this video and to answer the question, should you go and buy an iPhone 11 or should you buy an iPhone 11 Pro in 2021? Well, this is pretty much what I'll tell you. I use these phones a lot. I've used this phone for a year. I still use this phone for, you know, everyday purposes and speed comparisons like today. I think if you're trying to save the most amount of money, the iPhone 11 brand new is a better way to go. You're getting a better phone in the terms of like a quality per dollar standpoint. You're spending less money on here, so it is a better value, I think. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. But there is still a lot of capability for a phone like an iPhone 11. You have a lot of things going for it, and like I mentioned, I think it's a very solid phone for sure. On the iPhone 11 Pro though, you are getting a better phone pretty much in every single category. So one of the biggest advantages for this phone is that you can go ahead and buy this thing for cheaper in the used market than a lot of iPhone 11. So the iPhone 11 $599, the iPhone 11 Pro, you can probably pick up for like around $600 in a lot of used markets. And I think that is a really good advantage for the iPhone 11 Pro. It definitely isn't like the perfect phone either, but between these two, they're roughly around the same price for a used one versus a brand new one. And even in the used market, they're only like a couple $100 difference, not even like $150 difference, if that. So I'll probably tell you, if you have all the money in the world, the iPhone 11 Pro is the better phone for sure. But I think the iPhone 11 is a very solid phone as well, and it's a perfect phone for a lot of people. This may be the most perfect phone Apple has ever made, but the iPhone 11 Pro is a cherry on top. It's a better phone for sure than the iPhone 11. So that really pretty much covers it up here. If you guys have any other questions or anything like that, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count. So it means so much if you guys can hit that. Also check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my other channels. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.